Right now, we have with us Mr. Ogenyi Okpoko, who is the co-convener, or the national coordinator.
The national coordinator,
I beg your pardon.
Coalition for Good Governance and Change Initiative.
Wow, I thought you were co-convener of I Stand with Buhari.
No, I Stand with Buhari is one of the youth groups that is with us. You know, when we say coalition, it's a coalition of civil society and interest organizations across the country.
So what does your civil society group advocate?
Yes, good governance. Good governance.
But right now, your campaign was with You Stand with Buhari, right?
Yes. No, not I Stand with Buhari. And I got that in so many media platforms. The slogan is, I stand with Nigeria. If you stand with Nigeria, you must stand with Buhari. And that is why so many people now begin to say, you stand with Buhari. Buhari stand for Nigeria. So to stand with Nigerians, you stand with Buhari.
Okay, so if you stand with Nigeria, it means that you also stand with the other people who do not exactly agree with the president.
No, those who do not agree with the president, they do not stand with Nigerians. They are standing on their own. If you look at the protests, the procession here in Abuja, they were very scanty. When we got into the fountain as early as 6:37, people were willingly coming out to join the rally. Although the rally was planned for the February 6th, before their own planned protest against government. It was not a counter rally or something. We had started planning this rally to assess government policies and how it affects us positively. And at that forum, we are supposed to have speakers that will speak to Nigerian youth, positive aspect of governance and how it affects the Nigerian youth and the future
Mr. Ogenyi, I want to, one of the things that, Mr. President stands for, and a lot of people have not taken away from him, is integrity.
Yes.
Do you honestly want us to believe that your protest march or your rally was not a counter rally to the one?
No, we've made it very clear, even on that day on the rally ground.
Because I will tell you how a lot of Nigerians, I'm sure, remember things. What had happened was that they heard a popular musician, Two-Face Idibia, say that he was going to be at the forefront of a march. Now, he did say that he was not the initiator of the march, but that he supported the march because of certain things. Things are a bit tough in the country right now, and this is about getting their voices heard to let the president and all those in government know that things are tough and they want the system to change to work for them. And then subsequently, we heard that he was being invited to come and talk, to a debate of some sort, to talk about what precisely is working or is not working. And then shortly after, we heard that there was going to be a counter rally, that there was going to be another rally, which was I stand with, in support of the president, I stand with Buhari. And you're saying that this was not a counter rally?
Yes, that is why I said, no, wait.
Just a moment, you will answer that question when we return from this break.
Okay.
Stay with us. Mr. Okpoko Ogenyi is still with us in the studio. Just before we went on that break, you were answering a question, which bordered on the sequence of events. I had told you how a lot of Nigerians will remember how things came to them, but you say that this is not a counter-protest.
Yes. We stated it very clear, even at the Unity Fountain, and even later when we marched to the Federal Secretariat.
When was your protest conceived?
Our protest was conceived on the 13th of January. And that 13th of January, we wrote to the police for security coverage. 13th of January, requesting to use the Unity Fountain Abuja for a Nigeria youth rally on the 6th of February, which we got the approval that there will be security provision for us as we do our rally. Then long after that, I think about 3 or 4 weeks, almost a month, then the idea of this anti-government protest was conceived. So that venue, both of us, both camps were in the same Unity Fountain. They were there, we were here. The problem was that Nigerians decided to stand with Buhari. Nigerians The real Nigerians, I'm telling you.
Not from the visuals that we see. I mean,
No,
look at that. That's your protest now. I mean, that was your rally.
Yes.
Because if you say it's a protest, we have to ask you what precisely you were protesting against.
Yes.
So precisely what were you protesting against?
You can see people dancing.
Yes.
It's a rally.
You can see a small crowd there. That's a handful of people.
I have
barely. You're not even up to 500 from here, if I can count.
No.
I mean, I think
I can give you the. I have a complete video clip, and I came with it to the studio.
Are you saying that our video clip is not correct, or our cameras are not
maybe your reporter did not view it well. And I'm telling you, I have the video clip. It's even here at your reception.
And some people will accuse you of, having rented a crowd just to achieve this.
No, the crowd is not a rented crowd. Let me tell you, I've been doing rallies. I've been doing protests. I've been doing so many things of this nature.
We'll go to Lagos.
What I do is, before we go to Lagos, what I do is, if I have a rally, a planned program, we sit together as a people, we will get it. There's some of us who have one or two things to contribute, we contribute. Then we get the people informed. We have some women mobilizers, we have some youth mobilizers, you understand. We could just send text messages to them. So program is going to take place. Are you free to be part of it? They say, okay, yes, we are doing this.
Okay, we hear you on that one. Let's go to Lagos and take some questions.
Yes, indeed. Yemi Adamolekun is here with us in the studio. She is the executive director. Enough is enough. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we just heard Mr. Opoku speak about the fact that he's of the impression that those who are protesting on the part of the hashtag I stand with Buhari is the same thing, the mindset they have about I stand with Nigeria. So it means that both of you are saying the same thing?
Not quite. I mean, I was listening. I wasn't sure if I should be laughing or crying, because I don't understand how, in his mind, they're the same thing. And one of the clear things that was in the initial statement when Two-Face did this call was a protest not about any individual. It's not about Buhari, it's not about state government, it's about a governance system that's not working for Nigeria. So I stand with Nigeria was more to say, like, look, Nigeria needs to work for all of us. So it has, how he got his own conclusion, I'm not quite sure, but that's definitely not true. And that was not our intent when we went out and said, I stand with Nigeria and One Voice Nigeria would be the hashtags.
The government has responded to your protest and has said they hear you loud and clear. Are you do you perceive that as the government is actually listening to you?
Well, they've said that, so we'll take them at their word. And I think also to go back to what that gentleman said earlier, around that ours was an anti-government protest. Our stand is very different. We don't, we see government and people as people that we've employed to serve us. So if you work in an organization, you guys are employees, if there's an issue, your management won't say, I'm against Chamberlain. It's not. You have a conversation that, okay, these are the issues, what are your challenges? If there continues to be a problem, you elevate it to a query, possibly. And then it's either you ask the person to resign or the person gets fired. So for us, the conversation around demanding accountability is not an anti. It cannot be an anti. You cannot be anti your employees. So for us, we look at government elected officials as people who have been employed to serve Nigerians. And that's what they're being held to task on. So we're not anti them in that sense. It's mainly just do the jobs you've been employed to do.
So what are you expecting now from the government?
Well,
now that they've said that they've heard
yes, they've heard loud and clear.
What do you think will precede this?
So the statement, the letter that was handed over in Abuja, protest in Lagos and handed over in Abuja, had five clear demands around security, transparency, power, cost of government, and social justice and corruption. And what we did say in the letter is that their half-term report card is coming up in May. And if we look at what they've said, hear us loud and clear. So between hearing us and then beginning to act, that's up till May, and then we'll review what happens at that point. So we're expecting them to follow up on it. So for example, let's take power. We asked for a 6-month emergency plan on power. One, we've talked about this on several occasions around estimated billing. Why are Nigerians not being metered? It's expensive to meter, fine. Why not bring in independent players who want to bridge the financing gap so citizens can actually purchase meters and have meters in their home? Secondly, NERC, that's meant to be the gap between the discos and citizens, doesn't have a substantive chairman. We have an acting chairman in NERC.